I mean, the whole game here is fascinating.
So tell us about some of the incredible movies that you've been in.
Well, Karate Kid.
Rattle them off.
That's kind of funny to say.
Come on now. Bring it, Carl.
Karate Kid 1, 2, and 3, and then Rambo First Blood Part 2, and, Cagney and Lacey for 6 years, which is a wonderful TV series, and just Wyatt Earp and a variety of stuff. And I guess one of the first items was Steel Justice that I brought here, which was one of the first romantic characters that I played, who was, my own movie. It wasn't a bad guy. It was the first good guy in Hollywood, So that was fun. So I figured sort of allow people to see it, and I auctioned off of this. I guess I brought a couple of tapes and the Wagasashi, the double Wagasashi, which is really exciting.
Right on. Well, again, we're so excited about you're talking right into my ear. Okay, so here we go. We're glad that you're here, and let's start off with the very first one that you have. Tell me about the seasons that you're on, Cagney and Lacey.
Well, I was on that show for 6 years, and it was really interesting to be working with such wonderful actors, and we did 6 seasons, and I truly enjoyed being with such pros, and unfortunately Al Waxman is gone now, but we still keep in touch. Sharon Glass and Tyne Daly, we all try to stay in touch. And a couple of things I brought to you were gifts that I made to the company, and I had a couple of extras. One I kept, and this wonderful frame with the cast holding rifles and guns that I brought in, which is really very funny. That's one of the things we have from Cagney and Lacey. And
wow. Well, let's go back even further, and really quickly, what was the genesis? What ignited you to want to become an actor?
Well, I actually knew I wanted to be an actor from the 4th grade on.
Okay.
But I didn't do anything about it, I think, except community theater till I was 20. And then eventually did a lot of plays in New York and in Lincoln Center, and worked in repertory and classical repertory, and eventually came out here and did a lot of heavies, and ultimately Cagney and Lacey, and kind of opened up the door to a variety of other things.
Speaking of other things, when you're not on the set, I guess we can consider you a lethal weapon, but I guess when you do karate or you do martial arts, you actually become a lot calmer. Is that true?
Well, you're certainly more disciplined. I mean, I think meditation twice a day helps everyone. It certainly helps me. And my character in Karate Kid, he treated karate as an offensive sport when it's really a defensive art, and it's very exciting to meet a lot of the people whose lives changed once the Karate Kid came out, which was somewhat of an iconic picture, and we never knew it was going to be as exciting or as iconic as it's become.
Mm-hmm. And then there are reputations in Hollywood. People have good ones and bad ones. It seems like when you come on to a set, everyone likes you, and you have this, this infectious passion. How do you stay inspired, and how do you stay unjaded in this business of Hollywood?
It's very hard. It's almost impossible. How do you stay unjaded? It is impossible to stay unjaded. The thing is, you just develop a thicker skin, and you try to have fun, and you do some of the projects you like to do. I'm very big on westerns, trying to get the western rejuvenated, and you just keep going. You keep going because you're perpetually being rejected from some of the things you really want to do. It's tough to get a western going, and that would be what I'd love to do. Except even when you make True Grit made $250 million, cost 38. They still give they're not greenlighting any western. So I try to work on projects that I could, even a western where I have vampires in it, and I can bring the kids in from the back door. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm kind of working on now, is because I have my son Jesse is in the business, and they love westerns, but to bring kids in who don't know anything about the West, that's a great coup, because it's the American heritage of film, the western, and that's kind of my journey, over the next couple of years, to get these things relaunched and revisited.
All right. Well, again, let's get into it, because we're excited about what you brought in today, because there's an insatiable appetite for things that are from a movie set or things are from their favorite TV show. So we're going to get into the very, very